Hello and welcome to Total Football Analysis. Today we will take a closer look at the Copa del Rey final between Barcelona and Valencia. After the disappointing defeat at Anfield, Barcelona had their last cup competition to play in this season. They were the favorites in the Copa del Rey after they knocked out their biggest rival Real Madrid. Ernesto Valverde lined his side up in a 4-1-4-1 formation with a view of changing into a 4-3-3 when attacking. The loss of Luis Suarez hit Barcelona hard as they were forced to play Lionel Messi as the lone striker. Gérard Pakhei and Clément Lenglet paired up as central defenders, and in front of them was Sergio Busquets. Valencia fielded their strongest team for this final. Francis Coquelin would provide support for the defenders in midfield, while Dani Parejo acted as Valencia's playmaker. Gonzalo Guedes and Carlos Soler provided speed on both flanks, while the goal-scoring responsibility was placed upon Rodrigo and Kevin Gameiro. Valencia coach Marcelino instructed his team to defend with a low block in this game. They tried to use two defensive lines with 4 midfielders and 4 defenders. This approach prevented Barcelona from utilizing their numerical superiority in the center. The first defensive line teamed up to the strikers to defend the center of the pitch. They attempted to lock the ball carrier down and forced him to make a back pass or distribute wide. The second defensive line kept the distance between players a bit wider. The fullbacks occupied the half spaces and tracked back the runs of Felipe Coutinho and Sergi Roberto. As a result, Barcelona struggled to break Valencia's lines. When Valencia were defending near their box, Marcelino wanted his players to eliminate every possible attack that could come from the spaces between the lines. As a consequence, their narrow defensive structure left the wide spaces unoccupied, inviting Barcelona wide players to join the attack. But because both Coutinho and Roberto were not natural wingers and tended to go inside, Valencia did not mind if the ball was moved to the sides. Although Jordi Alba occupied the left flank, Coutinho liked to drift inside using his stronger right foot. Whenever Coutinho adjusted the ball to his right foot, Soler was already there to prevent a forward pass, while fullback Vaz would step out early to mark Alba. In addition to that, Barcelona did not occupy the space between the lines on the ball near side of the pitch. As a result, Coutinho was often forced to pass the ball back. Barcelona used a very conservative build-up in this match. Busquets dropped between Pakhei and Lenglet, Rakitic and Artur positioned between the lines. Messi dropped to the midfield as a false 9, and Roberto and Coutinho also tucked inside at times. This created a 3-4-3 shape in possession. On occasion, there were 6 to 7 players staying in the central areas of the pitch. Ideally, Barcelona could break the defensive structure of Valencia with short pass combination play through the center. However, Valverde's side did not risk to pass the ball to the double pivot often enough. Instead, the Barcelona players intended to move the ball to the sides early. Therefore, the Valencia players could maintain their shape easily. Artur and Rakitic positioned themselves between the lines. Both players had enough space to receive the ball. Busquets could easily pass towards one of them, and therewith force an opposition defensive midfielder to leave his position. However, Busquets tried a difficult pass to the right side. He misplaced the pass, and Barcelona lost the ball. Another bigger problem was the cramped midfield. With Messi also dropping into midfield, the central area was full of players. At times, even left-back Alba tucked inside when he received the ball. At that moment, 5 Barcelona players were positioned in a small area, decreasing space and passing options. As they were positioned too close to each other, Valencia could mark all of the central players with their zonal marking approach and without changing their shape. Furthermore, the Valencia centre-backs could cover the midfield line without direct opponents since Messi dropped. No players intended to make forward runs to push the defensive line deeper. As a result, Valencia could remain compact within their 4-4-2 and defend all Barcelona players. Moreover, Barcelona's attacking players did not exploit available space fast enough. They reacted too slowly to the changes on the pitch. This prevented Barcelona from creating big chances easily. Artur took the ball and attracted Parejo, who stepped out to mark him. That created space behind him. Barcelona could utilize this area using a third-man combination with Rakitic. However, Coutinho did not move into the available space. Therefore, Rakitic has no offensive passing option. Another issue was Messi's positioning. Despite being the best false 9 in the world, Messi dropped into midfield too early. Dropping runs should attract the defender and create space behind the marker. This only makes sense when other players are ready to occupy this space. In this case, Messi dropped too soon into midfield and no other Barcelona player intended to exploit the space between the lines. That's why Valencia could defend Barcelona's attacks with ease. Barcelona also tried other concepts in order to break Valencia's defensive structure down. One of them were lofted passes behind the backline. In this situation, right back Semedo moved into the space behind Valencia's defensive line and Artur immediately provided him with a pass. Nevertheless, Valencia's attentive defensive department managed to track back the fullback and stopped Barcelona's attack. For their first goal, Valencia used a similar strategy. With the help of a counter movement, Valencia got behind Barcelona's backline. A dummy movement of Valencia easily generated huge space behind Semedo. Semedo only focused on his direct opponent and followed Guedes, who dropped into midfield. At the same moment, left back José Gasha used an overlapping run to utilize the space behind Semedo. Gasha then crossed and assisted Gamero's goal. Allowing opposition players to run into the space behind their high backline was lethal as the Valencia players could face the goal directly. Another problem for Barcelona in this conceded goal was that the defenders lacked support. Although they managed to run back, they didn't receive any support from the midfielders, which created a big gap. In general, Valencia's attack relied on counterattacks and Barcelona could not deal with that as their biggest defensive issue was covering the space behind their defensive line. The second goal of Valencia can be attributed to a quick counter. Valencia used a through pass on the right wing. On the ball far side, fullback Semedo is confronted with both Valencia strikers. Since Semedo did not stay with Rodrigo, the Spanish attacker was left unmarked in the box and headed the ball into the net. Valencia's striker used a run on the blind side of central defender Pakhei to receive and score. Valencia enjoyed a 2-0 lead at halftime. Valverde had to make some changes to put Barcelona back in the tie. Malcolm and Arturo Vidal came in to replace Artur and Semedo in the second half. Roberto moved to right back, while Malcolm took over the role of the right winger. Malcolm's appearance injected some pace and width for Barcelona. In the first half, Roberto tended to stay deep and Barcelona could not create chances from his side. There were no crosses from the right in the first 45 minutes. Malcolm could balance the right flank and allow Barcelona to attack the right side. Finally, Barcelona could form triangles connecting each other. Messi played a 1-2 with Malcolm and tried a shot, hitting the woodwork. All in all, Malcolm attempted 7 crosses in the second half. Vidal came in to provide a further option within the opposition penalty area. The midfielder was supposed to make forward runs to the box. After Messi dropped, Vidal was able to receive the cross. Therewith, Vidal occupied Valencia's centre backs and disabled them to follow Messi's movement. Due to Vidal's presence, some of Barcelona's crosses could find a target. To underline Valencia's defensive solidity, we can take a quick look at the statistics. They made 33 clearances in the match, all of them inside their own third. Barcelona are known for their talented players who are capable of reading space and moving intelligently. Although this team still has Messi, Busquets and Pakhei, their style of play and the ability to read the space of this Barcelona side differs from Barcelona a few years ago. Although Valverde undertook some changes at halftime, Barcelona still missed inspiration in the final third. Thanks to a disciplined and concentrated performance, Valencia were capable of winning this game and therewith the Copa del Rey trophy.